Past couple weekends have been non-stop shopping. We have been browsing and browsing endless selection of flooring and tiles and Pinterest images. After all this, what did I learn? Interior design is hard. But we can't just sit around, because our house is nearing completion and we have to make good decisions fast. So naturally, I did what any logical person would do when hitting a wall. Here's a really useful tip for using large language models. Break down the tasks into smaller pieces so that the AI can provide you with more high quality responses each time. One of the first messages you should be sending to AI should be defining their role and the style you want the AI to design in. These messages will affect the rest of the conversation, so try different prompts and see what works the best for you. I will include my prompts in the description. For this particular example, I will ask my AI assistant to act as an experienced interior designer with bold, narrative, and slightly funky design style. Next, here is the living room that we'll be designing. I'm gonna ask what the first impression of this room is, what the strengths and weaknesses are, so that based on these aspects, we can move forward with the design. By having these pros and cons in the AI's memory, it will help us emphasize the strengths and cover for the weaknesses more explicitly. Let's see how this goes. I want to start with floor treatment because it affects the overall mood of the space. Our designer suggests we place a runner rug by the pottery barn near the window and place a Moroccan diamond wool rug by West Elm in front of the fireplace. I like how this effectively breaks up the large space into zones with specific intentions. A couple things I really appreciate about AI so far is that it's able to get me out of the creative block. When I was first setting out to think about the floor treatment, there were just so many choices out there. We've been to so many warehouses and stores with like hundreds of options, and it was just simply so overwhelming. And it's sort of nice to have the AI sort of tell us and narrow down the choices of floor treatment so that we can work away from there. And in this particular case, AI is providing us with specific product recommendations and placement instruction so that it greatly narrows down the possibilities for us. This is off to a really good start. Let's move on to the next section. So this is the part where I feel like the AI designer shows its flair. It gave me the choices between Sherwin-Williams Rock Candy and Hague Blue for the accent wall paint color. I decided to go with Hague Blue to try out more bold design. Aside from that, it also recommended I add fluted wall panels, a sculptural mirror over the fireplace, and a gallery wall over to the right. Even though I asked for funky in the prompt, these were some choices I would not have normally made if I was designing on my own. However, I also appreciate that the AI is showing me the possibilities that are out there that I normally would not have expected. If this was a real project, I might have furthered the conversation with AI to refine the style and the choices of furniture. But in this particular case, I'll move on just for the sake of time. This is a tricky one. Not only do we have to consider the style and color of the pieces, we also have to consider the flow and the actual usage of the space. For our space, our designer recommends Sven 88-inch tufted leather sofa. Leather texture adds a warmth to the room, and I also really enjoy the low and boxy profile of this couch. It also seems to have a very nice and deep seating area, which makes it very comfortable to sit in. On the side, we will be placing a swivel chair. The buccal texture fabric adds even more warmth and depth, and what's also cool is that this chair doesn't take up that much footprint so that it doesn't disturb the flow of the room. And to complete this little seating area, we will be placing an industrial storage pop-up coffee table. Similar to the sofa, the low profile keeps the room looking open and unfussy. Storage option also adds hidden functionality, great for stashing remotes, books, and blankets, while leaving a lot of breathing room on the underside. Now, to complete the reading nook, we'll be placing IKEA Powang chair to the left, and on the right, we will be adding this media console to store any miscellaneous goods and place display objects on top. And with that, this is what we have so far. Let's move on to the cherry on top, Decor. Okay, so here's the result from AI. AI suggests this living room already has great foundation with its warm leather sofa, rich accent wall, and sculptural furniture, which I tend to agree. To layer in texture, color, and personality, consider these decor and accessory updates. Let's see the specific suggestions on the right side. So over here, they're suggesting we place a tall floor plant here to bring vertical greenery and soften the window corner. The organic shape will contrast nicely with linear wood panels. Okay, let's see what they have in mind. Cool, this looks pretty good. Let's move on to over here. Layer two 20-inch velvet pillows and one patterned lumbar pillow on the leather sofa. Mix peacock blue and mustard tones to echo the art colors. I haven't thought about linking the sofa with the art. Let's try doing that as well. Very interesting. I would not have thought of choosing these types of pillows, so that's pretty cool to see. And styled decorative tray with a hardcover art book and a sculptural vase and a candle on the coffee table for eye-catching vignette. All right, let's see what products they recommend. Seems like there are a couple items that are mixed together, maybe. Kinfolk. I'm guessing this is okay, so that's one item probably, and I'm guessing that's something as well, and these must be another types of vase. Cool. Okay, we need to improve the products that are coming up, but I think it's pretty good so far. I'm gonna take a look at the side table over here, or the console. Arrange a trio of ceramic vases and a matte black decorative bowl on the sideboard to add contrast and sculptural interest. Okay, let's see what they have in mind. Okay, I'm guessing that these are also two types of products, so I will break them up like this. Cool. All right, I will take a bit more look and find out which exact products that they're pointing to here. So in the meantime, let's take a look at the last suggestions for the ceiling. Install a slim brass LED picture light above the artwork to create a focused accent lighting and make the gallery wall pop. Okay, so let's see what product that they're suggesting. Pottery Barn 13-inch swing arm LED picture light, antique brass. Designer is Pottery Barn. So that seems to be, well, the length isn't exactly what they suggested in the beginning, but let's take a look. Yeah, so this isn't 13 inches, but I mean, honestly, this looks pretty close enough. I'm gonna go integrate that into our final image. And with that, our living room is now complete. Are you ready to look at the final result? Okay, I really didn't know what to expect when I first set out to do this, but I really like the warm wood and leather texture, as well as the earthy color palette. The funkiness I asked for came through in a subtle way on a rounded mirror and the gallery wall. Overall, this living room looks like a nice and cozy space with a balance of character and functionality. I think this would be a really great place to call home. What do you think? Let me know what you think about the design generated by AI. Personally, I don't like the idea of relying on AI for everything we do, and I think there's definitely a value in human intervention and designing from our personal experiences. However, I think AI is really good at getting me out of creative blocks, whether that be for writing or designing. I think if you use AI as a design tool in the right places, I think it'll make you a much more efficient designer without making you compromise your design character. And if you like this type of content, like and subscribe so that you can see more contents like this in the future. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.